Hello. Wow, there's a massive delay. Okay. Welcome to Meditation Nerd. I hope you're doing well. I'm glad you're here. So today's naked pause will just be chanting. So we're going to be working with the mantra Maha Mrityunjaya mantra. Um, there is a spelling that is Maha Mrityunjaya, and from what I can tell, it's a difference in tradition. Mrityunjaya seems to be more associated with Buddhist tradition. That's an umbrella term I'm using. I'm not sure which specific tradition outside of Buddhism. And then the Mrityunjay, Jai, spelling seems to be more specific to the Hindu tradition. I'm more familiar with it specifically in relation to Kundalini Yoga, Astanga Yogi Bhajan. So we'll talk a little bit about the mantra itself at the end. We'll be doing about 3 minutes. I have dropped the mantra in the description, a link by the artist Ajit that is um, the music that I'm going to be using. It's 31 minutes, so if you want to go for the full time, feel free. Uh, Also, if you have a version that you already prefer and you already like, of course, put that in there instead. Listen to that one. Um, I feel like I'm just forgetting a whole bunch of stuff all of a sudden. So, oh, yes, of course, always honor your boundaries. Stay as long as you need. Head out whenever your intuition tells you it's a good time to head out. I don't know that I'll be chanting this out loud. It could be a whisper, it might just be me chanting silently. Feel free to choose whichever option works for you or flow through all of them. I also want to invite you to move with the mantra if you feel that's appropriate. So if you want to stand up, do a little bit of swaying, maybe roll your shoulders, move your arms, that type of thing. Please feel free to turn this into a moving meditation as you're listening to the mantra. Um, okay, I think that was it. So we'll go ahead and tune in with the Adi mantra. And of course, tune in however you feel is appropriate. Adi mantra Om Namo Gurudev Namo, repeated 3 times. Rub your palms together. Okay, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, exhale, and we'll inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale, hold the breath, pull the root lock, and exhale. All right, sometimes my voice just does not want to participate in the tuning. Okay, so go ahead and pull up the mantra if you don't already have it pulled up. I am going to give a moment here. Feel a sneeze coming on, and I can't tell if it's actually going to come through or nope, there it goes. Okay. And there is a bit of a lag before the mantra actually starts. I don't remember how long before she starts chanting. So, just as a heads up, feel free to settle in. Like I say, feel free to turn this into a moving mantra chant. And of course, if you just want to sit and hang out, that's perfectly fine as well. Okay, you can have your eyes open, gaze soft, or eyes closed. I will have mine closed for the first little bit. And this is a much slower, kind of ethereal music. So, of course, please feel free to pick a mantra that's um, a little bit more upbeat if that's something that you need. 2 more rounds. Last round. Okay, perfect. Anyone that would like to end here with me, go ahead and inhale. Hold the breath, pull the root lock. Exhale. Do that 2 more times. Inhale. Retain the breath, pull the root lock. Exhale. Inhale. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Retain the breath, pull the root lock. Exhale. Okay, great job. Go ahead and give yourself a little bit of shake, a little bit of a shake. If you haven't been moving the whole time, lower your shoulders. Okay, nice and gentle, being a little bit aggressive about that. Okay. And then let's talk a little bit about this mantra. Now, of course, this is pulled from the mantrology book that, again, specifically is speaking about the relationship to Kundalini Yoga as taught by Yogi Bhajan. I'm still waiting for the other mantra book, again, to have a broader view of different traditions, different approaches, different views from sources that I know are legitimate instead of just pulling stuff online. I just want to make sure that I'm getting an actual, legitimate estimation here. So something that I wanted to talk about first was going from pushti-vardhanam into urvarukamiva into bandhanan. I had a really hard time getting my teeth around that section, moving from point to point. So I just kept going with it. I kept listening to how she said it. And sometimes when I'm learning to master a mantra along with how the artist is singing it with the way it's written, sometimes it's easier for me to just listen to the way the artist is saying it, then master the words as written. Sometimes I need to flip it. So I just wanted to call that out in case you were struggling with any part of it. That's normal, that's natural, that's how we learn any language, right? You got to kind of acclimate to how you say it. So I just wanted to point that out, that I still struggle with that. It took me a minute to rebalance. Part of why I was like, I'm going to go ahead and whisper this time so that I can just focus on reorienting myself. Oh, and I did forget to note that I did drop um, the mantra itself in the description, so you could follow along with that. Sorry, I meant to say that at the top and forgot. So the way that Kundalini Yoga, again, is specifically as Yogi Bhajan taught it, this is framed as: we worship the supreme light, the three-eyed one, Shiva, who is fragrant and sustains all beings. Just as the ripe cucumber is severed from the bondage of the vine, we may be delivered from the cycle of death and bestowed upon us the nectar of life. So Knowing a little bit more about Yogi Bhajan, fortunately, I did not study with him directly. Um, this kind of gives a little bit of insight into how he saw it. I was reading on another site um, that speaks more to the Buddhist view of this mantra. That's also where the different spelling, instead of the Jai, it's the Jaya, um, Jaya. The Jaya is more aligned with the Buddhist perspective. And they were talking about how the translation of this is really hard to do because it's so rich in meaning, right? It has so much depth with the way that you experience the mantra itself. So I just found that interesting, just kind of the takeaways that Yogi Bhajan had and then taught, because it was just a limited framing instead of teaching from the expanded. Look, there are many ways to experience this mantra. Here are some highlights. Please don't make those highlights the only, because that's not all there is. So we'll kind of break down um, each part of the mantra. And my sincere apologies, I am as close to the correct pronunciation as my teeth can get around. So we have Om, all that which is the primal sound beyond the manifest realm. And it is a sacred sound. This specifically mentions Hindu. I want to say that my understanding is that Om is widely sacred within Buddhist circles as well. So I'm just going to go with a sacred sound because my understanding is that it's kind of, like I said, sacred to all. So then you've got tryambakam, the three-eyed one, Shiva, Traya being three, Amba being I, and then yajamahe, to sing thy praise, worship, sugandhin, fragrance, pushti-vardhanam, that which increases nourishment and prosperity. So you've got pushti, a well-nourished condition, prosperous, and then vardhanam, one who strengthens health and well-being. Okay, and then my apologies here. I still struggled to get my teeth around this one, so please bear with me. No disrespect is meant here. Urvarukamiva. Yeah, see, I still struggle with it when we're chanting and just saying it by itself, which is a deadly or overpowering disease. So you've got urvarukam, which is cucumber, iva or eva, like urva, big and powerful, deadly, urkam, disease. So you can kind of see like all of the different layers that we're already going through with just how this breaks down literally and then how it's experienced while we're chanting, right? Bandhanan, stem of a gorge, bound down, unhealthy attachment. Mrityor, from death. Mukshiya, liberation. And then mamritat, give us, amrita, to be removed from the cycle of rebirth. So ma is give us, and then amrita is nectar of life. So, and again, once I have the other book and I can kind of look at just different takes, I'm really excited to do that. I'll share those as well. So this mantra has to do with healing. It's overcoming our fear of death. It's um, I just victory. So it's at least with Kundalini Yoga as taught by Yogi Bhajan, it was presented as the great death conquering mantra, which my experience feels different from the way that those words are put together. So Maha means great, Mrityos means of death, and then Jaya is victory. So our victory over death, right? Not in this sense, it's not about immortality. It's about the fear of death. It's stepping into the fear of the unknown, right? It's a call for liberation from the repeating cycle of reincarnation and the suffering that endures throughout the resolution of our karma. So it's to help us resolve that. It's said that it protects from disease and misfortunes as its vibration envelopes the body like a protective shield. That's definitely a felt sense when I chant this. That phrasing is that I feel like it's more within than without. So I feel more protected within myself, which was a cool experience when I first started chanting this mantra. And then this mantra is occasionally concluded with the word swaha, which offers the enlightenment attained to God or the universe for all beings. So, and then this one mentions that this is the only mantra that Yogi Bhajan ever shared with a direct reference to Shiva, and it contains Om, which I mean that was interesting. And I mean, given what we've learned about Yogi Bhajan, he withheld a lot of information and he was very controlling about that. So, uh, kind of an interesting reference point now with, more information and just greater insight, awareness, not just of that individual, also the teachings themselves, kind of actually brings into focus why certain kriyas felt uncomfortable for me and the way that they were taught makes a lot more sense now. So, um, yeah, I wanted to give a little bit of background here just because it is interesting to me. I do think it's good for us to have these um, foundational perspectives, right? The mantra meaning, and then just a view of how, like I say, each tradition teaches it differently, and it's fascinating to me how each of them are presenting the information what because you can see what's valued, right? What's put forward, what's front loaded for people to take away, and I find that very fascinating. I don't know why the cucumber part of this is sticking out to me, but that's kind of funny that that seems to be the, anyway, not really the point. So just wanted to share this. Like I say, it's important that we have at least a basic understanding. How you approach this is obviously going to vary for all of us. I think I've shared this before. I typically chant the mantra first. I want to experience it first for myself without any preconceived notions so that when I do come back and I read the transliteration, it's not going to define my experience for me, that the mantra itself does that, right? I connect to it purely um, and then go from there. Sometimes I do read the transliteration first, so it varies. I encourage all of you to try it out differently. See what works for you if you aren't already doing that. And always be willing to question it and ask why certain things are framed the way that they are. Um, why is this prioritized over this? Is what I'm being shown aligned with my actual experience? And, look at that. It doesn't, it's not about anything beyond thinking critically, right? It's because that matters. Our meditative practice is informed by our direct experience, and we should be we should be critically inquiring as to what that is. Does this connect? Is this aligned? That type of thing. So just thought I'd share a little bit of extra insights here, at least from one tradition. Hope you found this helpful. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Oh, wait, my end stream button is grayed out. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Hmm. All right, bear with me. We've got technical difficulties with me ending the stream itself. Huh, I don't think I've ever had that happen before. Okay, let me see what we can do here. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of chat while I Weird circumstances at the moment. Okay. Hmm. And we seem to be frozen now. Okay, let's see if I can end it from this one. Nope, that's just showing me staring off to the side. Huh. Okay, let's see. Ah, there we go. Okay, got it. Okay, well, I managed to refresh it and get the end stream button to show up. So again, thank you for joining me. I hope you found this helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed the end where it was just me sorting out how to end the stream when we're done. Have a good rest of your day and see you next time.